Giants, Cowboys, week 1, Sunday Night Football, and I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. I mean, it's definitely a tough matchup, but we're 1-0 in the Jackson Dart era against the Cowboys. John Harbaugh's 4-1 in his career against the Cowboys. Initial thoughts when this first came out, I was nervous. I'm still a little nervous. I'm gonna be nervous until the game, but that's just how it goes. You know, not to be dramatic, but unfortunately, this will set the tone for the rest of the season. I'll get into that later, but ultimately, I assumed it would be the Cowboys, and I thought it'd be the Cowboys or the Bears because, the Giants have some hype, but the Bears have a lot more hype. The Bears were a lot better. They have a phenomenal head coach who's only going to get better. They have an amazing quarterback who's only going to get better. Honestly, I'm a Bears fan. I'm low-key a Bears fan. And this game is going, not to be dramatic, but it's going to make or break the Giants season. We're going to see what this team is made of immediately. And that's what I want. I was hearing some things like, the Giants, I wish they could just have some cupcake schedule to start the year, start out 4-1, 3-1, and they'll get their confidence under them. Well, I think if we beat this Dallas team, we're going to have all the confidence in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hate that thought process because I would like to play a Raiders team who is actually decent. I'd like to play the Cardinals. I like to play honestly, Titans. Titans are beefing with the Giants on Twitter. I'd like to play them week 1, but or earlier in the year, not a week 18, and we play the Raiders week 18 and we give them bell, and then we drop down to the 5th pick. But it's besides the point. But what this tells me is the NFL believes in the Giants. They believe in the John Harbaugh hype. They believe in the Jackson Dart hype. They believe in Arvell Reese and Francis Mauigoa. That's what this tells me. Because you don't put a team that's coming off a 3-14 season on Sunday Night Football, week 1. You don't do that if you don't believe they're building something special. And if the NFL and Roger Goodell even had if they even had the slightest of thought that this game would be 2023, they don't do this. So that means that didn't even cross their mind. That 40-0 game didn't come to their mind. Obviously it did, but they didn't think too much about it. They didn't overthink it. John Harbaugh's here. This team's going to be good. This team's winning at least 8 games is what they thought. Right? So, yeah, I thought it'd be the Bears or the Cowboys. I didn't think it'd be the Eagles versus Giants because, I don't like the Eagles, but this isn't really much bias. They weren't a fun team to watch. They have a star-studded roster, but they just weren't entertaining to watch. Jalen Hurts is on the decline. The NFL probably already knows that A.J. Brown is gone. They probably already know that. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want it any other way. This is going to set the tone for the rest of the season. This is going to show us, are the Giants going to be a gritty, tough, hard-fought team that isn't going to back down, that is going to make you kill them? They're going to fight until the last second of the fourth quarter. Are they going to be that type of team, or are they going to be the Giants we know? That's what it tells me. So I'm super excited and probably going to go to this game. But looking at the overall matchup right now, if it's not a very high scoring game, I'll be surprised because yes, I'm confident in our defense, and yes, I'm confident in Denard Wilson, but Dallas's offense is objectively a top 5 unit. They have 2 unguardable receivers. Javonte Williams just had a breakout year. We know Dak is really good. Say what you want about him in the playoffs. He's really good in the regular season. He's gonna have a great game. Just looking back at last year, the Cowboys were expected to be dog shit, and they almost beat the reigning champs week 1 last year, right? So it's gonna be a great game. But I'm 100% sure the Giants will win. And you might say you're delusional. You might say you're egotistical. You might say you just have blind faith. Well, for me, I do just have full belief that this team believes they are better than the Cowboys. And the reason I believe that is because when you have a quarterback that operates the way he does and thinks the way he does and has the swagger that he does, eventually it translates. And it already did translate, but eventually he's going to break out even more, and there's no stopping him, right? So I think this team already has and is already playing with a swagger and a confidence and this chip on their shoulder that they really have something to prove to the NFL. Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo are this amazing duo, but they haven't proven anything. They showed they can beat the reigning champs. Yeah, they can go toe-to-toe with the Broncos in Denver, in Mile High, and they should have won that game, obviously. We don't got to talk about that. But it's just, I have zero doubt that they'll lose because they have, and John Harbaugh has put this belief in me that they will win, that they are going to be a team that never backs down, that they're going to be a mentally tough and physically tough team. And yeah, looking at the matchup, our secondary scares me because I don't know how we're going to stop them. The only way we're going to stop them is if Abdul Carter and Brian Burns are dominant, which I think is very possible. But the Cowboys have good tackles. They're not going to stop Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, but they might limit them. I'm really excited to see the run defense, obviously. Probably the biggest turning point of the year, but yeah, this is going to make or break our season. And the one thing I would ask for all Giants fans is that just to be delusionally optimistic and delusionally believe in this team, please, because if you have a fan base that just completely believes in you and you have zero doubters, do you know how much easier it makes it to win if not only your coach is putting confidence in you and you believe in yourself, so you're also putting confidence in yourself, but then random people who just support you are putting confidence into you on top of that? It's just a different type of, I'm just spamming like confidence, but it's just a different type of mentality and mindset you're going to be going into the year with. And I really believe this team has something to prove, and I think they will prove it. And maybe they make me eat my words, and maybe they're just the same old Giants. It's possible. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I fully believe that. I'm fully bought in. And I'm so excited. The X factor for this game It's probably Malik Neighbors if he plays. You know, Joe Shane, he's being optimistic. He said he might be ready for training camp. He said he's like on track. Don't know if I believe that. Ryan Dunleavy was talking about it. He said he'd be surprised if he was ready for training camp. He said we're probably not going to know until like late August, which makes sense. But one thing he said is Malik Neighbors is taking his recovery very serious, which is amazing to hear because, like when you're like that, you're just this freak that's just dominant, literally dominant as soon as you step in the league. Sometimes you can slouch off because you're just like, I'm him. Like, I don't need to do this. Like, just one injury. Like, I'll be fine. I'm going to be back to myself. But it's really encouraging to hear that because, you know, Malik, he said some things. He's done some things that are just not, like, obviously nothing too bad. He just made some comments. And I know his confidence is sky high. I know he believes he's the best receiver in the league, so I'm glad he's taking his recovery serious. And the last thing I'll say is that if we win this game, we're going to the playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. Like, if we win this game, we'll be operating at a different level than every other NFL team. Not saying we're better, but the swagger we will have walking into every single game will be different because we're like, we're here. The Giants are here. It's a new era. We're here. So it's going to make or break the season. I don't want to just be so dramatic like, oh, if we lose this game, season's over. But it's true. Thank you for watching.